to your notebook. I think the first article relates to the marketing. So I like you to take a look. It's quantitative. And the second one will belong to, I think it's organizational behavior. Sorry. So, okay, first of all, log into Microsoft Teams and download these two files. First. Okay, based on the practice we had last week, you probably have basic idea about this course, right? We will focus on the method section or even the result section in a quantitative research paper. So I guess maybe most of you will apply this kind of techniques to your research. Okay. I'll have to switch the mirror whiteboard. Okay, here. Please open the mirror whiteboard for the week 2. I prepared some material. I'd like to go through the process of doing the research for a very short period of time. Okay, may I ask one question? How many of you already took the course Business Research Method in previous semester? Wow, most of you. That's great. Okay, have a seat. That's great. Good morning. Okay, as you can see here in the screen, the green one called the research design. After we have decided our topic, even finish the literature review or generate hypothesis, and the next step would be design a method for collecting data and analyzing data. Right? So our course will focus on the research design for this week, but I have to go to the whole process again. I guess most of you already know the process. I'll have to go again first. Okay, the very beginning will be the topic. So we have to decide which topic I like to study at the very beginning of our research phase. Based on this topic, I have to read a lot of papers, a lot of articles from the journal, so that you can find a research problem that probably you will like to address or explain the research problem. Could anyone tell me what is research problem? Suppose you already took the course, Business Research Method. Okay, please.
In my opinion, research, if we doing a research, that means we have to solve or reach a goals, and it comes from the research problem.
Yes.
Like maybe we have a theory, and in the real estate field we have like a gap, and we have to solve that gap with the research. And maybe, it's my opinion, it's called research problem.
Okay, that's great. Okay, you point out a gap in the literature. Does anyone have opinion about a gap in the literature?
Gap.
Yeah, in the literature.
Okay, if we are taking or doing a research on one topic, we have to do the research behind also. Like we have to see whether there is any difference between the first research and the research which we are doing now, and the difference between these two research and the gap between them is what we have to find in our next research.
Okay. So you will do something new, something different compared to the previous article or research. That's great.
Which is missed out in the first research, we have to do it in that.
Okay,
research.
that's great. Okay, so probably you have a basic idea about what is a research problem. If we don't have any problem, then we don't have direction to do the research. So based on the research topic, then we have to identify or specify a problem we want to address or explain. So that's the second. And after the research problem, then we will come out with a research question. Can anyone tell me what is research question? Do you have any example about research question? Yeah, based on the research problem, then we will raise a question, maybe one or two or three, not too many, that we like to answer in our study. Okay.
For example,
Okay. Yeah.
AI-based recommendations for e-commerce websites.
Okay. Research question is based on the literature. You already identified gap, right? But if gap, you just tell me that's one way. We try to do something new, something different compared to the previous one. Now that's okay. I would like to ask what kind of question we try to address in our research. Anyone can tell me what? Okay, good.
For example, analyze the influence. For example, there's the environmental awareness influence to the customer retention, and something like that regarding the research question.
Okay, so your research question will be like what?
What kind of influence from the independent variable to the dependent variable?
Okay, so that's a good example. So you just point out at least two examples in your statement, and there will be a question. Suppose X represent independent variable and Y represent dependent variable. You want to answer how X influence Y or how X impact Y. Right? That is a simple one. That's great. So we call it a research question. That's good. Let's go to the next. Hypothesis. Anyone? So there's a sequence. After we propose a research question, then we have to generate hypothesis. What is hypothesis mean?
To answer the research question.
Yeah. Okay. That's very great and simple one answer. Yeah, it's an answer. But the answer is tentative. Tentative. At the beginning, I'm not pretty sure about the answer, so it's tentative. Tentative means I have to, and I have to collect evidence. Especially apply the statistical techniques to analyze data, then I can generate evidence to support or not support my hypothesis. Right? So at the beginning, the hypothesis is tentative answer to the research question. Good? Okay. You can raise your hand at any moment if you would like. Suppose that we have hypothesis that we try to answer the research question. The next step will focus on the research design. Could anyone share your opinion or experience about research design? Okay, please.
Research design is like a plan how you will conduct your research, to answer your question in the research or test your hypothesis method.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. Good. Anyone?
The complete blueprint, I guess.
The complete
Blueprint.
Brooklyn. Okay, that's abstract idea. That's good. But could you go more detail about the research design? Could you point out the elements or components of a research design? Anyone? Okay, point out.
Introduction, like
Introduction.
abstract.
Okay, you can try to think about this one. Okay, please.
Purpose and the sample in the research.
Okay, sample. Yeah, yes, we have to collect. We have to specify a sample, right? We have to collect. Yeah, that's good. That's one element in the research design. What else?
Questionnaire.
Questionnaire. Okay, good. Okay, this is another one. The method or techniques. Sometimes we refer to specific techniques. Okay, method is a big word. We can break it down into different techniques. Some techniques relate to maybe it's kind of qualitative. Some techniques relate to the quantitative. Morning. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's the research design. Then data collection. Okay, anyone, could you share your experience about data collection? Anyone, please?
In my personal experience when I conducting a research, data collection is like how can we collecting this data in our research. For example, for the quantitative data, you want to collect the data through survey, for example.
Yes.
Questionnaires, for example. You also need to specify what kind of questionnaire you want to conduct, whether it's closed-ended or open-ended. So you need to specifically explain how can you collect the data.
Okay, that's great. Could you share your experience about conducting a questionnaire survey?
Yep. I've ever conducting a survey regarding a France student's point of view regarding one applications. So when I'm conducting the survey, one of my France friends helped me to give the survey through online way with their friends.
Okay.
It is like a bridge way, which is like first to their friends and then to their family, to their relatives and others. So that is how I conduct my survey.
Okay. Good, that's good. How you design your questionnaire?
I designing my questionnaire first. I need to looking for the variables of what I do wanna looking for a little bit. For the example, for the environmental things, I need to looking for the example, their awareness toward environments, and then for the example, their like their habits, for the example. So I need to arrange the variables and then make 3 questions each variable.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you. Good. So it's about the data collection. The next will be a data analysis. Anyone? Would you like to share? Yeah?
In this stage, you will apply the statistics. For example, if your data is a questionnaire, and in this stage, you will apply statistics to analyze your data.
Okay. Do you have any experience?
No.
No? Okay.
Statistics not yet because previously my research using qualitative method.
Qualitative?
Yes.
Okay, so you conduct interview
Yes.
or?
Interview and classroom analysis.
Classroom
Yes, classroom analysis.
analysis.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like a field study.
Okay, field study. So you interview and make a audio recording and transcribe your conversation into text. And after that, how do you analyze the text?
Using the theory that I get in the first, in the theoretical review,
Uh-huh.
and then make a interpretation for
Interpretation.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's good. Qualitative. Okay, to my opinion, qualitative is not easy. So to me, it's so difficult, and it take a lot of time. And
Yes, I take one
yes.
course then papers in my bachelor degree.
Okay, good. It's good experience. That's good. Thank you. Of course, then we have to report the result based on the analysis, right? And after that, then we have a discussion and conclusion. Anyone, would you like to share your experience? about the discussion and conclusion based on your research experience?
Basically, in this stage, you can answer the hypothesis,
Mm-hmm.
whether you want to accept the hypothesis or you want to reject the hypothesis, and then basically to answer the research question,
Okay.
and then to fulfill the gap that you found in the literature.
Okay, that's correct. That's correct. That's correct. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else? Could please.
In my previous bachelor degree,
Mhm.
I analyzed about the SEO, the impact, the influence of SEO in brand awareness. And in discussions, I found that SEO didn't fully influence the brand awareness, reach only 47.5. And in discussion, I put maybe there's another variable can influence the brand awareness. So we can
Okay.
discuss and maybe discuss the implication for another research in the future.
Okay, that's great. You just highlight the study or research limitation in research. Also point out the direction for future research.
Yeah.
Okay, in discussion and conclusion section. Wow, that's great. Fantastic. I guess most of you have roughly or idea about how to do the research. So then we can go more quickly through the course material. So then I want to went back to the Notion this week. First of all, do you know how to set the Notion into your personal file? Save my Notion course material into yourself so that you can modify the content. Do you know how to do it? No? Okay. You just move your mouse to this icon. It means duplicate. So you have to log in your Notion account by using Google. Okay, so you don't have to memorize any password for this web-based application. So you just log in with your Google account and then to the Notion and click this icon, duplicate and make a copy to your individual or personal Notion file. Okay, try it. Do it this way. Click and click create a copy. Okay. Any question? You have to find the icon right hand side right hand side here. The small icon. You can create a copy of the course material and save it into your Notion account. So they can make modification, change the content, or take a note. Anything you can do. Okay. Okay. The topic for today's course will cover these 3 topics. Literature review on the topic building research framework, method design, and ethics. Actually, based on my experience from the previous semester, I see some senior MBA students in their thesis research document. Seldom, only maybe probably very few classmates have reported ethics consideration in their research. I guess in the business research method course, the professor have highlighted the importance of the ethics consideration in doing research, right? So I will talk about this one, this course. Okay. So we have to decide which topic we like to do a research, and based on that topic sometimes keywords, right? It's a keyword. Topic, Sometimes just keywords. Keywords. This keyword belong to some concept or construct. I guess everyone knows what is concept about, but what are constructs? Anyone, could you share your understanding about what is construct in our research? Have you ever heard this term before? Constructs? Not very familiar with this terminology, right? No? Okay. Okay, we have to talk about construct reliability, construct validity. Okay. Construct actually is a concept we studied in our research. For example, the job performance is a construct. Okay, it's just construct. Okay, we'll talk about this in more detail I think it's maybe next week. I will go through the process this week. I would like to introduce 3 journals, very high quality journal. I guess most of the professors or in the university, they would like to visit the journal to read the article and find something new, some topic is interesting to do study. So you can find a journal on marketing we call JN. And I have provide the link here. You just click here, right? You can see that. There's hyperlink. There's a hyperlink for JN Journal Marketing. You just click it. Accept. Okay. Journal Marketing is the top tier journal in the marketing research field. So I guess most of the professors whose expertise is marketing, they usually will visit this website to see what's something new in the journal marketing domain. You can have different tabs to take a look. For example, most recent article, most read, most cited. For example, you can just take, for example, most cited. For example, the first one, published in 2022, the title was Influencer Marketing Effectiveness. Okay, most cited article in this journal. So you can find, and if you have not decided which topic to do your research, you can visit the website and try to take a look the title, and maybe pick 1 to 3 article. Take a look the abstract. Just quick look the abstract. Then decide which one will be your research topic. It's your foundation. Okay. So this is the first journal called Journal of Marketing. Okay, let's move back. And the next one, this one is called AMZ. AMZ. It's an Academy of Management journal. It also is top tier. It's general management. It will increase different discipline. For example, maybe relate to marketing, maybe relate to human resources, maybe relate to information technology, or even the finance. It's a general management field. It's a top tier. It's quality. So if we want to learn some high quality article, I encourage you to read article in this journal. AMZ. The last one relate to information technology. It's called MIS Quarterly. And also have website here. You can see down below. This one, good. Right. And just click it. Okay. Actually, these three journal I visit them very often. When I was a PhD student, I have to read a lot of articles. My major is in information technology. I study ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning System. Do you know what is it? Do you know what is ERP? In every business, no matter it's a big, small, or medium-sized business, they have process, right? Like marketing or sales department, they have process in their department, or in the manufacturing department. So all process will be covered by the ERP system. So my major is ERP system. I do the research. So you can take a look if you are interested in information technology. So for this year, the research article, you can see that, fake news, true news assessment. The persuasive effect of discursive evidence in judging veracity. I think it's a very important, interesting topic nowadays. Do you know why? Fake news or true news? Do you know why? Why in this era, in recent years, it's a very important topic? Because AI. You know that? Because AI can create anything, right? Something true, something not true at all. Especially, not only text, but also video on the internet. So it's very important which news is true and which news is fake. So it's a very interesting topic. Okay, I would like you to take a look. Okay, I just forgot to visit the second one called Journal Marketing. Yeah, so click here. Oh no, this one, Academy of Management Journal. Current issue. Okay, you can click tab here. Impress means it will be published in future on recent volume. You can click the current issue. Also, if you want to find something, some article published in the previous year, you have to click archive. 3 tabs. You can try it. Click the current issue. Okay. So usually the editor in the journal. You can see here from the editor. Every journal have editors. They will be the top position in this journal to decide which article will be published in this journal. So you can see that's editors publish an article called Compelling Empirics in Quantitative Study. It's kind of usually for those readers are very professional, especially professor in the university. They have to do research. So for all of you, I think it's too difficult to read at this moment. We just scroll down to find the articles. Threading the needle, corporate activism. How firm frame their stance on polarizing social issues. Then this is one. Uprooting loneliness, a theory of continuity, breaking self-narrative change. So that's the most recent article published in this journal. Good. Okay. Since in this course, I would like to encourage you to finish one international conference paper after this week, this semester. So I would like to find something in the journal. So please, you can find article in those three journal or in Google Scholar to find article. And then so that we have a group discussion, which kind of topics will be your group work for this semester. Of course, you can change it later. That's okay. Maybe you can change that next week or maybe in the future. That's okay. So try to find an article you would like to work together as a team. I said before, 3 members in one group, right? So I think not all of our classmates in class today. So we just have 10 tentative group to discuss. Try to find article for your team. 3 for one group, 3 members for one group. 3, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 groups. Okay, for tentative for today's exercise. 3 members one group, 3 members one group. Is that okay? Or if you would like, you can change, switch. We probably have 4 groups for today's exercise in the class. Okay? So it's group exercise time. After you have decided, and please copy and paste the title and explain its theoretical contribution of that article. Okay. Group 1.
Okay, thank you so much. So we choose this title, which is Fear of Missing Out, FOMO, and Compulsive Buying Behavior, the Moderating Rules of Mindfulness. So after looking at the theoretical review, we saw a lot of the contribution of this research toward the theoretical especially. We looking for that this fear of missing out related to this anxiety of people and also depression. So that's why they want to buy something because they feel anxiety to left out. And it also strengthening the fact that in the theory that they use, in general, they use self-determinant theory, which is there are 3 basic psychological needs of this theory, which is autonomy, competence, and relatedness, which is they need to feel control, having control of something, feeling effective of the society, and also feeling connecting to others. So that's why fear of missing out and this theory related at the same time, because when you want to have control or effective and connected at the same time with the society, you fear of missing out at the same time. And my friend will add more.
Okay.
To explain all this in simple terms, I would just like to add is FOMO is not so harmless, like it's a psychological driver of compulsive buying. So it actually works on people who go through depression and social anxiety as well as the materialism. Mindfulness will protect people from these harmful effects and nearly fits into self-determination theory, which explains unmet needs leading to negative behavior.
And the next one in the theoretical contribution in the application of self-determination theory (SDT). You know, the straight of the view of FOMO reflect efficiency relatedness, which leads to exercise and discretion. Also, the compulsive buying behavior and material are the contextual of the consequence of the lacking autonomy and competition, provide the unify the theoretical framework of the formal mental health and also the consumer behavior.
So basically, this research regarding FOMO and compulsive buying and also the moderating of mindfulness shows that FOMO itself is not harmless at all, because we have mindfulness, a character of people that will protect them for missing out for depression and anxiety.
And those things is compact and related to self-determination theory, which is can control the society's react to some things in buying product, for example. And it's explained that why it will lead to negative behavior or positive behavior of the people itself. So that is our research.
Okay, so that's it? Okay, good. Very good. I have a little question here. Since the title of this article is Fear of Missing Out, there's probably, I guess, independent variable, right? Fear of missing out. And the dependent variable could be impulsive buying behavior, right? Am I right? Yes. And also the moderating role of mindfulness. So there's a moderator called mindfulness in this research. But based on the last sticky note here, identify fear of missing out as a critical risk factor, so it's independent variable for dependent variable, compulsive buying, clarify the mediating psychological mechanism. Based on this description, in this article also have mediator. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes.
The moderator, mediator. And
Okay, so both have moderator and mediator in this model, in this research. So it's a complex study for me. Yeah, it's not easy one. Usually we just include one moderator or one mediator, but that's complex enough. When they study, they both have mediator and moderator. But we'll talk about moderator and mediator in the future. Oh, that's good. Thank you. I would like to see the next group. Group 2, just the sequence. Okay. Group 2, just decide group 1, yeah, good. So, the group 2, please.
Our paper name is Buy Now Pay Later, the impact of instrument payment on the customer purchase. And basically this paper they're talking about the temporal reframing theory, and it's about how people think of the price over time. And the study said that the idea is not just to price wording, but to structure the payment itself. And for more easy to understand, I will explain it like this. So Buy Now Pay Later, this instrument, they splitting the payment into smaller chunk, and they can make people feel two-way. So first one, they make people think that, oh, the cost is smaller. For example, when they see the number of 4,000 NTD, and they can split into like 1,000 and pay in each month, so they can feel that this price is more cheaper, even though they pay the same amount of 4,000. Yeah,
that's good.
Second, they can have their own more control over their budget, because everyone, they have their own salary per month, per years or something like that. So if they think that if they pay like 1,000 per month, it's better than pay like 4,000 one time. Because they think it's a big number, and it's kind of the system that our human brain works. And more detail will be explained by
So as a result, people are more likely to buy and spend more, whether it's a one-time purchase or something recurring. Importantly, this effect happens even when the total price is obvious, and even paying in one lump sum would mean delaying the payment. So the paper that argues that the way installments are designed influence people's sense of financial constraints instead of assuming those constraints already exist. So in conclusion, in short, breaking payment into buy now pay later installments makes people feel costs are smaller and more manageable, which leads them to buy more.
Okay, so that's it?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Very good. You have identified the theory applied in this research called temporal reframing theory. See that? So theory play a very important part in our research. Could you tell me how many variables in this study? How many variables? Based on the title, based on the theoretical contribution you just mentioned. What is the independent variable? What's the dependent variable? Is there any moderator or mediator in the model?
So in this paper, they use several variables. The first one is the dependent variable, which are the purchase incidence and purchase amount. And for the independent variable is BNPL, or the binocular adoption indicator, like step them equal to 1 for all post-adoption, which is for adopters, and not for otherwise. And for the control variable, they use the customer fixed effects and time fixed effects in different specifications. And match sample using pre-period covariates to balance adopters and non-adopters. That's all.
Okay, thank you. That's good. That's for the title of this article for group 2. Thank you. Next group. Group 4. Okay. Wait a minute. Let me move the whiteboard to the group 4. This one?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
The title is we found this article from Society Journal, the journal that you read before. So the title is How to Shift Consumer Behavior to More Sustainable. This one is a literature review and like guiding framework. So that basically they don't have variables, so they are a literature review, but they review like 320 studies, and then they summarize the main factor. Like for example, the social influence, like the S, habit information, and then individual self, the feeling cognition, and the tangibility. So that what is the variable they mean here? They don't conduct the research. This is like a literature review.
Okay.
And then the theory they use in this article and what is their theoretical contribution. For the first one, the biggest one, like the first theory that we use, which is marketing and sustainable consumer behavior, they are contribute here for the SHIFT framework. They want to understanding facilitator of sustainable consumer behavior and what they should be the interest to the marketers. And then they also use a shifting consumer behavior sustainability for making the hypothesis. And then next.
Actually, all of these theories are contributed in the hypothesis building and also to answer the hypothesis itself, because this article is only review the previous studies. So they didn't collect the data from the field. So the data will come from the previous study that they are reviewing. So they build the hypothesis from the previous study, and they also answer the hypothesis based on the theory they found from the previous study as well. So as my friends mentioned before, the theory itself includes social influence, social norms, social identity, social desirability, and habit formations. And that's all.
And how can we conclude this one? We analyze based on their focus, based on their challenge, based on their theory development, and then their practical use, and also their scope. Like for example, they combines many previous study into one comprehensive model, which is social influence, habit formation, individual self, feeling cognition, and their flexibility. So that's what they mean shift here, and then they explain the unique challenge for each sustainable behavior, and then they propose they develop the proposition about how the collective action, and then how they can break
then they extend the theory beyond the sustainability. Like sheep also can be applied to the other positive behaviors such as health and then action. So I think that's all
Okay.
from this article.
Okay. Okay. Very detailed. Good. So it's a review type articles. Okay, good. So it's just an exercise. Review type article could be used as a theoretical perspective for our research. But you want to select topics that really can be applied to be our research in the future. I will encourage to find an article that has some variable or we'll call this measurement scale in the article. So that's okay. It's just a practice. It's a review type. That's good. So the last one will be group 3. So group 3.
Okay, so our chosen article, the title is The Influence of Online Review and Online Ratings on Consumer Purchase Decision of Something Product in Pekanbaru area with Korean Wave as a moderator variable. So it has 4 variables here. The independent variable is online review and online ratings, and the dependent variable is purchase decision, and we have a Korean Wave as a moderator variable. We would like to explain about the Korean Wave first. So Korean Wave is the spread of South Korean pop culture, like the music, K-pop, K-drama, and the lifestyle that has a great influence on consumer preference, especially in Asia and Indonesia. And here there are 3 theoretical contributions. The first one is integration of online reviews and online rating and consumer decision making, and how the Korean Wave or Hallyu act as a moderating role in this research. And the third one is the contextual application to Indonesian beauty industry. And this study shows that online review have more influence than online ratings on consumer decision. It also finds that the Korean Wave can change how people respond. It strengthens the effect of ratings but weakens the effect of reviews. And it helps our valuable guidance for local beauty brands to refine their marketing approaches and better align their strategies with the evolving preferences of their target customers.
Okay, so that's it. Okay. Based on the title of this article, what's the independent variable and dependent variable?
So in this research, the independent variable is online review and online ratings, and the dependent variable is consumer purchase decision, and it has one more variable, is moderator variable, is Korean Wave.
Okay, good. That's good, pretty good. So you have clearly identified the variable in the article. Well, that's a good one. So we have moderator called Korean Wave. Okay, that's good. Okay, that will be probably the first exercise. So far so good. And based on the exercise, we can review some important ideas about understanding academic title. I mean the title in the article. So the title usually reflects scope, variable, methodology. So what does it mean, scope? Could anyone explain this one? We know variable, independent variable, dependent variable, moderator, mediator. But what does scope mean? What does scope mean? Anyone? Okay. No? No. Try it. Don't be afraid. Okay, good.
So scope like the boundaries of its research. So it's limit it's give a boundaries to the research, like topic, which problem that we will determine in this research.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Well, the scope is actually is a boundary that we want to cover. Let's say we talk about the behavior. This is a big scope. What kind of behavior you want to talk about? Organizational behavior, consumer behavior. Wow, that's a big one. So we have to narrow down the scope, right? So that's a good one. And decoding research intent from the wording of the title. Research intent. What kind the new knowledge you try to contribute in the literature? Something new. You have to tell people something new. You not tell people something people already understand, already know. Something new. Maybe the Korean wave as a moderator is something new. So it was shown in the title. So you do decoding the research intent from the wording title. Okay, I will skip this part of exercise. Just wrote down. Keep talking about that. The component of academic article title component. So sometimes we just focus on called phenomena. Could be any kind of phenomenon. In social world, it's a big phenomenon. COVID-19 is a big phenomenon. Consumer behavior, smaller one, right? Or even financial behavior, it's another one. So you have decided the core phenomenon we want to study. So will be something I will show you in the title. Maybe it's dependent variable. Maybe it's independent variable. And the main topic or issue being investigated often the dependent variable outcome. You see that? This one, usually. So highlight. Maybe just tell me I like to study the customer buying intention. Well, there's more examples. For example, employee engagement. Engagement. What does it mean? Engagement. Usually engage with their job. Let's go engagement, right? We work because we have to do the job, make money. So employee engagement is kind of concept, a more general concept to cover different social reality. Or even this one called firm performance could be the dependent variable you want to study. This one, continue. Key variable relationship. Okay. When we talk about study, we like to study the relationship between variable. So relationship is the key. Is the key. It's the focus point. We like to do the study. So we have to specify the IV, right? Independent variable. Cause and effect. How do you determine cause and effect? What does cause and effect mean? Anyone would like to share your opinion about cause and effect relationship? How do you determine a cause and effect relationship? How do you know? It's a cause and effect, not just correlation. You see that different? I would like to switch to a different whiteboard at the moment to clarify some idea. Okay, I think this one, not this one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Could you share what's the difference between these three concepts? Correlation, association, cause and effect relationship. Is there any difference? Based on your knowledge or your experience? No one? No one? No one to try? I'm not pretty sure. Okay, supposedly we have took the course about business and research method, right? That's very important concept for doing research. No one want to try? Cause and effect. Okay, let's say this one. When you want to study the cause and effect, you have to make sure you have the correlation between IV and DV, right? Maybe there's a positive correlation, maybe negative correlation, but you cannot say that X influence Y. Okay. You cannot say that. If you want to talk about the cause and effect, you have to specify the condition, the variable has correlation. Then second, we have specify the cause and effect relation by the time zone. The time point 1 and time point 2. Suppose we will say that's the time point 1, I collect data, only focus on IV. And after maybe 2 months, I collect dependent variable. So you collect data from different time point. Maybe you can say that if IV affects DV or IV influence DV because I collect data from different time point. If we collect data at only one time point, that's usually people do, we call cross-sectional study, especially for the survey data. We deliver the questionnaire to the target only at specific point of time, right? Only once. They have to report all the variable, all the answer to the question, right? We did not collect in 2 different time points. So that's very difficult to convince your advisor or the reader. There's cause and effect relationship. Okay, maybe just because we collect all the data at a specific point of time. So there's a relationship called correlation, not cause and effect. And association is also a relationship, but usually it's between categorical data. Categorical data, for example, gender, male or female, and smoking behavior, smoke or not smoke, categorical. So 2 variables, both not categorical, then maybe possibly they has a relationship we call association. So it's a different label. Okay? I will emphasize this kind of concept again and again, so they have a clear idea what kind of relationship I want to study in my research. And let me switch back to the course material here. Cause and effect. Okay, the important keyword you can look for in the article, sometimes called impact or effect or role, like a moderating role, mediating role, okay, and so on and so forth. Also the relationship. So usually we will appear in the title. So in the future, if you have an article that want to submit to an international conference, you have to decide what kind of wording I will use in the title. Okay. That's example for effect of leadership style on team's innovation. So it's probably the easy one. Which one is independent variable? Which one is dependent variable? Based on your understanding. Actually, we have two concepts or construct. 1, 2, right? 1, 2. Two construct or concept. So first one, I guess the effect. You can see that effect. So I will say leadership style could be independent variable. The effect on team innovation. So this one could be the dependent variable, right? So we can practice this exercise. So we can have a very quick idea what is the research all about. Okay, the context, we have talked about the scope, but right now I want to say again, when you say we conduct study in a specific country, for example, in Indonesia, in Vietnam, or in Thailand, right? It's a specific context. So context probably consists of 3 components. I would like to show you what is it, or what are those elements. The first one we call the where. The data come from where? The country, maybe the business setting. Okay, from manufacturing setting, from computer industry, and so on and so forth, right? So it's kind of where the data. And when do you conduct your data? From this year, 2025, and from January to maybe September. Okay, it's a time zone. So I have to specify when. And the last one will be the who. Who's your target? Employee, consumer, or leader. Okay, or the influencer in social media. So it's kind of who, right? So it's context. We have to specify the context. So you can see here, define the setting as well as population, industry, or time frame. Okay. So in small and medium sized enterprise, is we can call it where. Yes, it's only one. But you just tell we will focus on who, focus on employee or the boss, okay, or the manager, right? So there's another context. And also there's optional. Based on your good report, discussing result, you select different articles, but you also highlight some theory in the article you select, right? So sometimes we have emphasize the theoretical lens. What does it mean? What does theoretical lens mean? Or sometimes called perspective. Theoretical perspective. What does it mean? Anyone want to try to explain based on your understanding? Yeah, try it.
Maybe it's like the brain theory that we use in the research. For example, like their journal, they provide the theoretical base and then the theoretical contribution. For example, theoretical perspective of consumer behavior, and they use from the consumer behavior theory what kind of implementation of the theory to the research.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for your answer. I don't know. You have different courses. Maybe you have marketing course, finance course, organizational behavior, right? That's a lot, different kind of course. But usually what we want to focus on, learning the knowledge from that course. Some people just learn many new vocabularies, new concept, right? Many new concept. For example, employee engagement, which I've learned a lot of the new concept. We didn't use it in daily conversation, but in research, this concept is a component of a theory. Theory perspective, it means, for example, if you want to study user behavior in, let's say, AI tool, AI application. It's a user behavior. Okay, it could be a dependent variable. But when you want to study this kind of phenomena, we have a multiple perspective, multiple lens, based on what kind of theory you want to pick as a lens perspective. Let me tell you. For example, TAM. Hazel, do you remember? In the mobile commerce course last semester, we introduced at least 8 to 9 theories. 8 to 9 theories. Not only one. TM is the first one. Can someone remember?
Yes.
Yeah, many, right? Many. So different theories, different perspective, or different lens. So we have to pick at least one theory for your research topic. TM, some people may select SCT, called social cognitive theory. Social cognitive theory. Have you ever heard this one before? Social cognitive theory. By Bandura. Anyone? No? No. Okay. The key component in this theory is called self-efficacy. Have you ever heard this concept before? Self-efficacy is kind of belief in yourself. I believe I can overcome any obstacle, any difficulty. I can achieve the goal. So it's a psychological concept in this theory. So I want to point out here, sometimes usually in the article, people will highlight what kind of perspective they use in their study. Maybe TM, maybe SCT, view. Or in the organizational theory, there's a perspective called RBV, called resource-based view. Resources-based view. Anyone have ever taken the course about the organizational theory? Have you ever heard resource-based view before? No? Really? Yeah? This semester?
Yes.
Okay, we will learn RBV, resource-based view. It's another theoretical lens or perspective to view the organizational maybe behavior or their competitive advantage. Okay? The air conditioning is went out, right? Oh, so hot. Shut down. No, why? Okay, it didn't work. It's okay. Okay, now choosing a research topic. Usually we'll align the topic with the business practice and academic relevance. So, because we are IMBA students, so our topic relate to domain. Either, of course, we're doing research, so it's academic. And then it related to the business practice for manager. And also you have to consider feasibility. What does feasibility mean? You mean the data access. Could you get the data or not? That's important. Sometimes you want to study some concept, some phenomena, but you cannot get the data. Let me tell you, for example, consumer buying behavior. Could you get the data from consumer buying behavior for Starbucks, for 7-Eleven? Can you get it or not? Can you get a real transaction data or not? No, we cannot get the data. 7-Eleven will not provide the data to you, right? Starbucks will not provide data to you. So it's called data accessibility. So you, instead of study consumer buying behavior, we will change to what? Not this one, but this one. Intention. Good. Intention is the independent variable of behavior. Let me say it again. Intention is the independent variable of behavior, real behavior. So we will focus on the intention. Buying intention, okay, something like that. Okay, so choosing topic for the data access, scope and time. We don't have too much time, especially for second year students, right? We don't have so much time. So we have to collect data within maybe 6 months, 3 months. It'll be okay. Okay. We just have an exercise called point out the theoretical contribution, because it identifies the gaps in the literature. But in terms of contribution, usually we'll focus on 2 parts. First part, second part. Right? First part and second part. We talk about the contribution. The first section of our research paper, usually we will report the theoretical contribution at the very beginning of the introduction section. Right? So we can identify the theoretical contribution in the first section of the article, introduction section. But at the last section we call discussion and conclusion section, right? Conclusion section. We have to discuss not only the theoretical contribution, we also have to discuss the material contribution that have some meaning for the manager when they have to make decision in the business. So we'll discuss this contribution in the last section. We call discussion and conclusion section. Okay. So don't forget how to organize your contribution. In the introduction section or in the last section, I mean discussion and conclusion section. A special focus on material means manager in the management position. Our result can guide their decision. Got it? Okay, literature review. Basic. Okay. I guess most of you already have conducted literature review. Anyone want to share how do you conduct a literature review? After you conduct a literature review, what will you do? After you reading the papers, what will you do? Yeah, you read paper, right? A lot of paper. Maybe 10, maybe 100 papers. But after you reading it, what will you do? You have to do something before you start writing your maybe conference paper or your thesis report. So what will you do after literature review? Anyone want to share? No?
Compare the research gap.
Research gap, yes, of course, that's what we do. Right? And this is one purpose for literature review, to identify the gap in the literature. Okay. And what else? In the structure of a paper, the first section we call introduction, right? Introduction, the first section. What is the second section in the article? Yeah, yes, literature review. Literature review. Review. So this is second section. So we are using literature to identify a research gap in first section. But in literature review section, section 2, what will we do? What kind of text would we like to show in the second section?
The theoretical summaries that we want to use in the article.
Mm-hmm. Or theoretical summary. Okay, summary.
Maybe it also include the research model.
Mm-hmm.
From the theory, maybe we can develop the research model, right?
Okay. Okay. Have you ever do the mapping keywords? Or do something like a mind map? Do you know what is mind map? Yeah? Mind map? Okay. Okay, this one. Yeah. Might have something will look like this one, right? You have to decide the focus in the center. Maybe it's kind of consumer buying intention, right? And then you have to break it down into different parts. Or maybe you can base on the time zone to summarize your literature review. Yeah? The recent work maybe is 2025. What is the earlier article you have read? Maybe your article is 1990, right? They all focus on the consumer buying intention or behavior. So you have to summarize like that. Article, right? And break down. So it's like a tree. So that's a suggestion for you if you conduct a research review. You have to summarize. Some people use mind map to do the summary of literature review. Some people use the Excel spreadsheet to summarize by the time sequence. Okay, from beginning and to the recent years. Of course, we have to focus on the concept we want to study. Maybe relate to the independent variable, maybe relate to the dependent variable, and so on and so forth. Okay. Okay, that's the first section what I talk about. And of course, we reading the literature, so don't forget to do the citation, right? Synthesize citation. If you not use citation, you may have a problem with the copy. Copy some other words, pretend as yours, right? So don't forget our citation. Okay, not listing. Some people just do the listing from 1990s and then 20 and 2015 and 2020, right? Like a listing by year. But that's not listing. You have to synthesize. The way you want to synthesize, probably I will give you a suggestion like something like, for example, if you have IV, DV, IV maybe not only one, but IV1, IV2, dB, right? So you can synthesize by the relationship between at least two variables to synthesize literature. Okay. Wow, time is so fast. Now it's 10:50. Okay, we take 10 minutes break. We have to have. Okay. Not everyone in the classroom right now, so I will talk about this one later. Move back to material here. After literature review, we already have maybe not comprehensive understanding, but part of the comprehensive about the research topics. Try to do the research. So after that, we can build the research framework. Okay. Please, anyone, do you have any experience creating a research framework? Yes, please.
Actually, I usually see from the main article that I use for my research topic, and then I will just pick the variable that I want to use in my research. So I just follow the previous research framework and then combine it with the different article that the result isn't measured yet.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Fantastic. Yeah. Okay, that's a very quick and easy way. Just follow the research framework in the literature, and then make a minor modification. Maybe just include one variable or two variables into the new framework. Okay, well, that's a good way. So sometimes I encourage you to try to find an article that contains the research framework. I'm not sure you have selected 4 articles. Is there any research framework in your article? I'm not sure. So you can take a look. So research framework development. Okay, the starting point is from theoretical perspective. The starting point is from theoretical perspective. For example, resources-based view is a theory, or social cognitive theory is perspective. We use theory to specify concept. Got it? Theory contains many concepts. Let me make an example. Maybe I can quick search the TM for you. Just here. Maybe here. TM model. Some people call it theory, TM theory. Okay, good. Okay, same. Okay, this is a framework. And also is a theory called TM. So it contains actually 5 concepts. Maybe it is a dependent variable, and there's the independent variable. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 concepts, 5 constructs in this research framework or theory. So it's a research framework. So it guides you to select concept. So next time when you study or learning the theory, don't forget, take a look what kind of concept in that theory. Or how many concepts in that theory. And what's the relationship, or what are the relationship between the concept. For example, here, you can see that the perceived, okay, let me see here again. the relationship between these two concepts, perceive easy of use, how easy to use a system, like we use smartphone, use our one finger, right? We can tap, touch the screen. So how easy the use perceived will affect the perceived usefulness. Useful means its benefits. For my maybe personal life, maybe our tax, okay. So useful or not. So there's a relationship between these two concepts or construct. And also this one affect attitude, also usefulness affect attitudes. So that's the relationship between the concept. So the theory perspective of that help us to pick the concept and also the relationship between the concept. Got it? Okay. Let me tell you the truth. Actually, when I was MBA or PhD student, I took many courses related to the statistics. But the professor usually focus on the techniques. Tell you the T distribution, F distribution, a lot of technical words. But how can I apply to my small research project? It's so difficult. So I just come out to design a course. Like at the very beginning, I guide you through how do you find a topic, an article, and pick a theory or research framework and select the variable or concept. Then we can choose what kind of techniques, statistical techniques, suitable or we can apply to our research. That's the course design. So I hope you not only learn the techniques, I hope you can finish conference paper at the end of this semester. Even will help you doing your thesis research project. Okay. Conceptual model and statistical model. Can you tell the difference? Have you ever learned the difference between framework? Framework also sometimes called conceptual framework, conceptual model. But some people talk about statistical model. Any difference? Hazel? Okay, good. Yeah, please. Yeah.
Actually, in my understanding, the conceptual framework is the conceptual of our research in general, like how we will conduct our research from the beginning until the end. And the statistical framework is usually how we will work with the data. Basically, how we will use the statistic to work with the data that we already collect our study.
Okay, good. That's good. Some students mix these two concepts together, conceptual and statistical. These two different levels. Let's make you a very easy example here. When we have two concepts, one is IV, one is DV. This one could be buying intention. That could be customer satisfaction. Okay. I only studied two concepts and their relationship. Okay. For the time zone, I can collect data. There's two and there's one. I want to study cause and effect. This is the cause. and this is the effect. And this 9 represent relationship. This 9 represent relationship, cause and effect, relationship. I will draw an arrow, point from left to right. It means the customer satisfaction affect the buying intention. Yeah, I think you maybe agree, right? If you're satisfied with the service or product, maybe you will buy. Okay? But if you're not satisfied, you will not buy it in the future. So the relation, maybe the direction will be positive. This is we call it's a framework. It's a research framework. Or maybe you call it, it's called conceptual. We will not call it model. We'll call it it's a framework. It's the theory. It's theory. Only conceptual. It's based on idea, not real data. Okay. But when we talk about this model, Let me try again. Okay. Okay, let's see this one. Okay, good. When we talk about statistical, okay, is it right? Once again. Statistical model. When we talk about model, the same two concepts here. Customer satisfaction and buying intention. When we talk about a model, we have to show not only the concept but also the indicators. Something like this one, something like this one, something like this one. Okay. It's called statistical model. Not only the concept but also the indicator. Indicator actually is a questionnaire items in your questionnaire. Got it? It's a question item in your questionnaire. So it's called statistical model. So usually we will not show this model in the method section or in the literature review section. We will report the statistical model in result section. Okay? Do you have an idea why I try to distinguish the difference between conceptual framework and statistical model? Two different concepts, two different phases. So the result section, we have to report a statistical model. This kind of model, we can use something, the software, like a Smart, PRS. We can run this kind of statistical model. And SPS itself did not provide this one, but it's additional function called AMOS. Have you ever heard this one before? AMOS? AMOS. It's an extension function of SPSS that allow you to draw the statistical model, to run the analysis. I'm not sure in our school classroom, in this room, or in the computer room, I'm not sure. They do have SPSS installed on the computer, but I'm not sure whether or not they have the AMOS on the computer. So they're two different. Okay, two different package. In our course, we will run this statistical model by using Smart PRS. Also, maybe if we have time, we can also use JASP, the free software. The free software to do the statistical model. To draw the statistical model, something like this one. Okay, any question about conceptual framework and statistical model? Okay, clear enough? Clear enough. Good. And hypothesis formulation. How do you formulate or generate hypothesis? Anyone want to share your experience? I'd like to share your experience based on how do you generate or create hypothesis in your research. How do you do? Okay?
Like taking the sample
From
the whole population.
Taking a sample from the population to form the hypothesis. Okay, I got it.
Like using z-test or
Okay, I got it. This also from the empirical. When we talk about data, talk about statistics, it's empirical. It means we really collect data, okay, to test hypothesis. But hypothesis formulation is conceptual. So it's two different labels. This one is called conceptual. Just a way to talk about a conceptual framework and statistical model, right? Two different. Conceptual model is in the maybe after research literature review. After literature review, it can come out a framework called conceptual framework of theory. Okay, this framework contains hypothesis. So anyone has experienced general hypothesis in bachelor program or in the first year of this program, MBA program?
For me, in my
Yes.
previous research, I made the hypothesis from the previous journal, and also I do the cross-survey, but it's limited population, just 30 people.
Mm-hmm.
Do the cross-survey, mini survey, and after that I learned from the previous journal that maybe have the supported hypothesis, same like my hypothesis. So I summarize from the previous journal to make a new hypothesis.
Okay. This is great. Thank you. Okay, thank you. A hypothesis. Okay. Okay. So you can see that the first key point here, a good hypothesis, generally based on what? Based on actually the framework is our framework, but it's based on theory that you pick or select. Okay? It's based on the theory you pick or select. So you guide you to generate a relationship between the concept or construct. So the hypothesis formulation is based on literature review, based on the theory, not based on the data collection. Data collection is testing the hypothesis, not formulating hypothesis. So we have to formulate the hypothesis first. Let me show you again here. I have this process, right, on the whiteboard. You see that? The hypothesis is before the research design, before, not after. You can see that? After that, we collect data. Data analysis actually is testing our hypothesis. Test it, not to create hypothesis. Test the hypothesis. So we have to create hypothesis before the research design. Okay? Any question? So that's why it's so important we learn theory from different courses. In mobile commerce course, like we introduce 8 to 9 theory. That's one way, so that we can help us to pick the concept or variable we want to study in our research. So it can apply to your different courses. When you take the marketing course, human resource course, organization behavior course, you have to learn what kind of theory in that course. How many theory I learned from that course. Any theory can help me to identify a variable or concept in my research framework. You see that? That's the important theory. Because in this class, we only focus on statistical, right? Techniques, not focus on the theory. So you have to get it from other course, not this course. Okay, so link to the framework, testable, directional, testable. It means you have scale. When you say we testable, it means we can collect data by using scale. Okay, so I would like to show you the example here again. I have uploaded the article. You can open it. It called this one, the role of moral decoupling in cause and consequence of unethical pro-organizational behavior. Let me switch to the framework here. You can see that this one is framework. Right. This one is framework. If one, based on this one arrow represents one relationship. So 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe, right? And then we have the construct 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Before we can test the hypothesis 1, for example, maybe this one is hypothesis 1, H1. Between the supervisor unethical pro-organization behavior and employee unethical pro-organization behavior. Suppose this X and Y, suppose. We want to test the relationship. We have to make sure we can collect data. If we can collect data, then we can use data to analyze, to test hypothesis, right? So how do we collect data? Yeah, we have to search or find out what's the measurement scale in this article. We can scroll down to the bottom. To the bottom here. Okay, somewhere here. Let me here. Okay, this probably. Okay, this is here. You can take a look. The title, appendix, right? It mentioned about the measure and manipulation. I will not talk about manipulation right now. Okay, it's another concept. I'm not pretty sure you understand what is manipulation. I will explain that later in future class. But so far, I'm going to focus on the first one called measures, or sometimes people just call it scales. Okay, each concept has its own scale. Got it? For example, in this one, unethical pro-organizational behavior, this is one concept, one construct. So how to measure it? You see that? This 1 to 7 is some kind of Likert scale. I didn't have learned Likert before, right? Likert 1 to 7, 1 to 5. It means we have the middle point, okay, to use. But when you have 1 to 6, that's not a Likert scale. It means that we have to force the participant to select a position. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There, maybe it is positive, maybe it's one is negative. You okay. Ask the participant to select a position. Don't have any middle point, right? But Likert scale, a middle point. Okay. So usually people will use the 7-point Likert scale or 5-point Likert scale. And below here, there's the 6 items for this concept to measure the concept. So you have to try to find out whether or not your article have provide the measures. Okay, at the end of the article. If you can get that one, okay, that's perfect. Because we don't have to create by ourselves. We just use the literature, okay, that they already have the reliability and validity test. So we can just adapt directly. Okay, so that's called testable. We can collect data and then we can use statistical techniques to test the hypothesis. The rational, okay, hypothesis means positive or negative, right? That's summarize. X to Y could be positive, could be negative. It's directional. Okay? Independent, dependent, moderating, mediating variable. Okay, so take the framework and draft possible hypothesis. Okay, so I would want to speed up because I like to finish the topic today. Hypothesis, do you have time? 26. Okay, we maybe still have time. Okay, just copy and paste the research framework or the model and the hypothesis to the whiteboard. I give you maybe okay, it's just copy and paste, quick. So maybe 5 minutes to try it out. Okay.
The same journal?
Yeah, same article. Yeah, same article. If you don't have one, I get it. Literature review, right? Don't have one, let's just skip that part. If you have one, just copy and paste. Quick way. So 5 minutes to do the practice. Okay. Research design, quantitative, cross-sectional, survey-based or experiment. But in our article, I just mentioned the moral decoupling. In the article, they adopt two kind of approaches, survey-based and also experiment. Experiment, I took this kind of course when I was PhD students. We have a specific course called experimental design for whole semesters. Okay, but in our school, Minsk University, I don't think we have this kind of course called experimental design. We just have applied statistics. That's my understanding. So we don't have the experimental design. If you have this kind of requirement, you want to ask opinion, you can contact me. I can give some advice. So experimental approach and survey-based. Sample design. Define the population unit of analysis. I think there will be, I'm not sure you can catch up this idea, called unit of analysis. This one also belongs to the research method, business research method. Do you know what is unit of analysis? No? No, okay. Okay, union is your target. Your sample target or participants. The union is employee or leader or teams. Right? It's different level. Employee, leader, or teams or department. Okay, it's different level, or even a company level. So, for example, we like study firm performance. It's company or company level, right? It's unit of analysis. If you want to focus on employee performance, the unit will be employee, a different unit. So make sure the unit of analysis. So sample design will decide which target you would like to send your questionnaire. Okay. Sample techniques. When I talk about into detail, we have two types: probabilistic and non-probabilistic. Has anyone have adopted probabilistic sampling techniques before? No. Probably most people select this one. It means convenient sampling, right? Convenient means it's convenient for me. I just deliver the questionnaire to my classmate, something like that, right? So it's non-probabilistic, but that's okay. For our MBA, just a practice. So second one is good, non-probabilistic. And appropriate sample size. Anyone know what is sample size mean? What does sample size mean? Anyone? Sample size?
The amount for
Yeah, amount of participants. Yes, how many people? Okay, have to answer your questionnaire. You want to collect 100, 200, 300 questionnaires, respond by your participants. Target, right? It's sample size. But do you know how to calculate the sample size you need? Yeah, that's good. Yeah. She said based on the item in the question. Did you get it? Yeah. For example, if we have 2 constructs, but we have suppose 10 items, question item. So how many sample size we need?
The get item and with extra 5.
5, okay, that's good stuff. Usually 5 to 10 times. 5 to 10 times of your questionnaire item. I'm talking about the scale, not demographic variable. You get that? Demographic variable, gender, also is questionnaire item. But we will not include the demographic variable. We use just based on the scale items. Okay, scale items, measurement scale items, not demographic item. 10 times is better. 10 times better. So we will have just only 10 items, probably we need 100 data points. Okay. And measurement, okay, measurement or instrument. This adapting the scales that we just mentioned about. So you have to make sure that your article provides scales, and so it will be convenient for you to doing your research on research. And then, because in that article they offer the scales, I think they already passed the test of reliability and validity test. But of course, when you adopt that scale in your research, you have to do the same test. You have to analyze the reliability and validity for your own research, for your conference research project. Okay, but what is the conversion? What is discriminant? I will talk about that, or maybe before. I don't know. Maybe after or before the midterm. Okay, about the conversion of discriminant validity. Pilot test. Have you ever do the pilot test before? Do you know what is pilot test? Pilot test, it means a small amount of sample, maybe 30 participants or targets answer your questionnaire. Just a pilot, small size. And then everything, the reliability is okay, and even the validity is okay, then you can have confidence about your scale. You can deliver to collect max amount of data. 100, 200, or 300 participants. Got it? Okay. Pilot testing and refinement. Okay, after that, then also the element of method section, method design called data collection and procedure. You have to describe how do you collect data in your report, in your conference paper. How do you collect data? The procedure step by step. For example, I like to collect data from the MBA students or even the bachelor program student. You have to describe it. Okay, reducing the bias and maximizing the response quality. How to maximizing response quality? No. Okay. We also have kind of experiment try to answer the question from other people, right? Because we'll do it just for free, so we just do a quick answer. Use our mouse for online survey or even in paper form. I just check in the middle, maybe in 7 point or in 1 point, just all the way. Do not take seriously to response, right? But how to maximize the response quality? Some classmates maybe offer some prize, right? Some prize for people who answer your questionnaire. So maybe you have different prize. You can select the winner by random selection, right? If you have budget, maybe people will seriously answer your questionnaire. Maybe that's one thing. Okay, missing data and non-response. Do you know what is missing data? Okay, in paper form, sometimes it's so easy have a missing data because the participant skip some question item, right? In paper form, it's easy to skip. You don't know that after you receive it, they just didn't answer the question item. So if you adopt the electronic or cloud-based questionnaire, Google Form, right? Google Form, you can restrict that participant have to answer each and every question. So we have to handle missing data before and after. And data analysis, so after we have hypothesis, usually we have decide which techniques we need to test our hypothesis. ANOVA, multiple regression, and SEM. Okay, but I don't think we have time for the last exercise. Let's do it next week. Okay? Because time's up, 11:50. Okay, see you next week.